journey as well?
Oh, I think definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So felt very good about my military service and the work that I did there. So yeah, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's where I think that my experiences growing up were both good and bad. So, and then at that time, like I said, I still had a relationship with my mom and stepfather.
Sure.
I had the relationship with my real father. And the thing I remember, I went home so the kids were visiting me, and this was before I remarried.
Yeah.
And the kids and I went home for Christmas, and my stepdad knew that I'd gone over and seen my dad, and he just got real upset. Of course, he was drinking, and I'm driving down the road. It's me and the kids are in the back of the truck, and I just slammed on the brake, stopped in the middle of the road, and I said, "Look, this has to end.
Yeah.
If you want us to come see you and be in your life,
we're not going to do this.
We're not going to do this. This needs to
Yeah.
stop." And I think I was finally strong enough to stand up to him and
That's
say,
good.
you know, so yeah, it's.
What was that like for you? As you talking now, where do you feel this come? Like if you were to say, "Hey, I feel something in my body right now, on my chest, or my throat, or my arms," where do you feel this energy right now in your body as you're reflecting upon that?
Oh, I think in my arms probably.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, can you do something for me? Would you just go ahead and just do like this really quick? Just shake it out. Just shake
it out.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know. So there's a scientist, Sweden. He wrote this particular Sweden psychologist scientist. He wrote this particular book called "The Body Keeps the Score." The mind may not always remember certain things in which we have experienced, especially trauma, John, but the body remembers that. So as you're talking, you know, I feel your energy. You know, definitely we can feel it in our chest, our arms, and all those things. But to recognize that, to be aware of where you're feeling it, helps also us to be able to process it, to move forward. And I appreciate you really sharing your story. Thank you for joining me today. So as you're transitioning, John, to how many years was it before the divorce, but now you remarried?
So I met my wife in the Army.
She's Army? She's Army as well?
Yeah, she's a retired, she was a mechanic.
Okay.
She's a retired W4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. She's going hard. Retired.
Hard charger.
CW4.
She is a hard charger.
Sure.
Still is today.
Yeah.
And so it was.
I see her swimming laps in the pool for hours.
Yes. So yeah, it was a couple of years, say about 2.
Okay.
That we met, and kind of a funny story to throw in the middle here. You know, we're still over in Kuwait, and First Sergeants told us, you know, the NCOs and stuff, "Hey, we've got some new soldiers, new privates there."
All right.
So I told my soldiers, I said, "Look, guys, we're going back. We got some new privates there. Y'all just need to leave them alone."
Right. That's right. See.
So I married one of them.
All right. That's beautiful. That's all right.
It is. You know, we started hanging out and hanging out together, had things in common. Actually, one of the ladies that was in unit deployed with me, we got an apartment together when we got back, and she actually introduced us.
Wow.
Got us, formally introduced us and set us up.
But you met her in Kuwait already? You met her in Kuwait?
No, okay. She was still back at Fort Sill.
Okay.
She came to the unit as a private.
Oh, okay.
And I came back from deployment.
Okay.
So, and we dated for quite some time, and then finally decided, hey, you know.
Yeah. How long did you all date?
About 18 months.
Okay. Now, when you were dating, because as we look at dating today, it's certainly, I don't know, perhaps maybe different. Now, did you all date with a purpose, meaning that, hey, we're dating to try to see what things we have in common, with the expectation perhaps of, yes, you want to settle down, you want to be monogamous with this one woman and spend the rest of your life with her? What was it like for you?
Well, I think
what was dating like?
I think this was a real change. We had things in common. We liked the same music.
Sure.
like worked out together.
Yeah.
We'd go to the gym.
Yeah.
Of course, we were both mechanics in the same unit, and it was just a real change for me because she grew up in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if she'll watch this. I don't want to say too much about it. But she grew up in Wisconsin, and just real loving and respecting, and not at all like the girls that I had dated.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that stands out to me is, we didn't have sex until after we were married.
Mm-hmm.
She was gonna wait. She believed that. She was raised a Lutheran. In fact, one of my jokes people tell me is, at church, I say, I wasn't raised in church.
Sure.
We got married. My wife told me I'm a Lutheran.
Wow.
So,
right.
And have been ever since.
That's right.
Not totally true, but she did. I started seeing that in her.
Yeah. Now, was she your first marriage or
second marriage?
Second. Okay, so she had been married before. She had experienced.
Oh no. Her first marriage.
Yeah. This is her first marriage.
This is her first
How
marriage.
old was she? Now, did she have relationships before, or was she
a high school boyfriend? I think.
Okay, sure.
She was 19.
Right. Okay.
And I think she understood a lot where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have the same type of thing with her
Mm-hmm.
father. Her father passed away when she was around 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So she grew up with her mother, watched her mother raise 3 kids, and do a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
Real strong, and independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Rachel grew up.
Yeah.
Real strong.
I got you.
And independent. And, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I had said, one of the things I had said was, I'm not getting married again.
I got you.
This just
Yeah,
isn't.
the pain is
This just
hard.
isn't for
It's
me.
horrendous.
And then I saw this, she was 18 when we met.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, here's this 18-year-old girl that to me seems to have her life together.
Yeah.
She's got her priorities straight. She knows what she wants.
She was 18.
She was 18
How
when
old
we
were you?
met.
Okay.
So when we got married, she was 20
Okay.
and I was 32.
You were older.
Yes.
So she was 20 and you were 32.
Yes.
All right. So you were a bit mature, older, somewhat more established,
Mm-hmm.
and she was definitely younger.
She was younger but very mature,
Mhm.
just really mature.
Now, it sounds to me that she also brought something to your life as well that you needed.
Stability.
Yeah, definitely. But and how long have you all been married now?
She might watch this, man.
That's all right. Like you have to think, like, okay, Jeff, you just threw me on the spot. But so,
No, 28 years.
So, but 28 years, that's beautiful. That's phenomenal.
Mhm.
Now, I'm sure it's all been rainbows and unicorns, and it's been wonderful. You never argued, never cried, and never had to add any. I'm being facetious, right? But just thinking about that, it sounds like she was something that you also needed, but you also provided her with something as well that was a benefit to her as well.
I think so.
Or did she think she was just trying to make sure she get out the house and say, hey, I'm done. I got a man. I'm going to make sure he's the right one. And I'm leaving the house. I'm leaving, mother.
No, she's always been driven and I think, it was just a mutual love for each other. And just that sometimes, a lot of people, me included, get married when they're young and not ready. She's pretty mature. In fact, she thought when we first got together, she thought she was gonna have 2 kids to raise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now she respected my decision later. That
Mhm.
it was my decision to let the kids stay with their mom.
Mm-hmm.
But she was willing to take that on and do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, I think we've had a very mutual relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of years. Of course, she said she's strong and independent, and
Mm-hmm.
I was able to do my career, and she's very career driven, obviously.
Yeah.
And-
CW4.
Yeah.
That doesn't come easy.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't come easy. So you are serving together in the military, having an opportunity to travel the world together. What was that like?
Oh, it was good. We got married. And about 6 months later, wouldn't you know it, I'm going to Korea.
Mm.
So she decided to get out for a little bit, and she went back to Wisconsin, went to college full-time for a year.
Okay.
And then she came back in on active duty,
Yeah.
knowing that she had gotten some of the education she needed, and she was gonna go for warrant officer.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you know, she came back in very driven, made rank fast, and went off, and drove me more. She was more disciplined than I'd ever been in my life. I don't know if I'd ever gotten promoted if I wasn't married to her.
Was that ever a part of contention, you know, in yours relationship, that she's driving, she's trying to push the train and all that stuff, and you want to, you know, just, you know, go at a temporal pace? Was that ever a sense of contention?
No, I don't think so. She does sometimes, you know, she'll make comment. I'm kind of laid back.
Yeah.
I'm real quiet. I don't, more quiet, don't always say stuff when I probably should.
Right.
We should talk more. And of course then there's all this energy coming out there. But I think that we have balanced each other in that way. And I really think that I found a lot of what I was looking for in my life that I never had with her. And then, you know, when we were married 10 years before we had our daughter.
Yeah.
So our daughter now is 18 years old, just started this year. She just finished her first semester at Abilene Christian.
Yeah, and congrats, what's your name again? Jim?
Mary.
Mary, congratulations. You're watching, it's your dad. I'm grateful he's on the show, but congratulations to you as well. Now, what as you move forward, John, and how do you think you have learned from your past experiences to who you become today?
Well, I think that like I said, at first, I think I wasn't really going the right direction as a father.
Yeah.
And probably as a husband, I think I have to take some responsibility in that marriage.
Sure.
But I think when I got the stability in my life and matured, I think it really made me a better father with Mary.
Yeah. That's good.
Her and I have a wonderful relationship.
That's good.
I was in Afghanistan when she was born. Came back, and my wife and I are looking at, hey, we're going to deploy at the same times.
Wow.
And I've got 20 years, so I put in my retirement packet. Then my wife deployed a couple of times to Iraq. So I really
you raised
spent a
Mary.
great deal of time with Mary.
Yeah.
But I really think that I saw the way my stepdad was, and I said, I don't want to be that guy.
I got you.
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of relationship with my children.
Is your dad and stepdad still alive today?
So they passed away. My mom and my dad both passed away early in their 60s.
Okay.
Cancer.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and my father just passed away a couple years ago.
Wow. Sorry.
So I guess one thing I would say about my stepdad, like I said, everybody kind of thinks he's a nice guy. So I just retired out of the Army in 2004.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, you can't retire at that age.
Sure.
Too driven. So then I get a call that my stepdad had been in a terrible accident.
Wow.
He had been out playing cards all night, driving home, hit a power pole.
Wow.
Got out of the truck, stepped on the power lines. When the police got there, he was in a ball on fire. Wow. So they airlifted him to University of Nebraska and told my mom he wouldn't live but a few hours. And we sat there, you know, I went to visit my mom and sat there with him, and he was in the hospital for like 6 months, and you could see the filters.
Sure.
And there, and they were charcoal color, and then they were clear. So one of the things that happened during his recovery process, which was a miracle, is that he was taken off. He didn't smoke or drink after. You know, he went through those withdrawals while he was asleep. You know, while he was in a coma.
Sure.
And so after that, you know, him and mom had about 4 years together before he passed away, where they didn't have the alcohol, they didn't have the smoking. And I got to go back for Christmas and to visit from time to time, and was able to have a really good relationship with
That's
him.
good.
And fortunately, by that time, had been in Christ, and I knew that it wasn't for me. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We forgive.
Yeah.
And pray about it a lot.
Yeah.
And was able to forgive him.
Yeah.
You know, in my heart, and realized that what he had was a disease.
Sure. Yeah.
And
And
in the end, what I think what I feel most still is for Mom.
Yeah.
And him now too, because they could have had such a better life.
Yeah.
They could have had a lot more. They spent all their money on alcohol and
Wow.
cigarettes, and you know they could have had a much better life.
Yeah. Wow.
But
So now today, what kind of legacy, as we wrap this up, how do you want to be remembered in terms of your love and legacy, and then also living as a father?
yeah, I want to be remembered. If I could say what my legacy is going to be, first I want to be remembered as a Christian, someone with love in my heart for everyone.
Sure.
And also as the good father that I didn't have.
Sure.
I mean, you know, a good father to all three of my kids, because I have wonderful relationships with all my kids. And a good husband and partner with my wife.
That's awesome.
And we have that. And went through a lot to get there, but I realized that everything is a blessing from God. Everything good. But I think when he does that, he expects action on our part.
Sure.
And so there are things that are put before you that you have to do. So yeah, that's kind of how I want to be remembered.
Yeah,
you know, I
that's awesome.
don't want to be remembered for my career. You know,
Yeah.
I'm proud that I was a soldier.
Sure.
But not necessarily that. You know.
Yeah. But I think as we get older, and one day we will all be on our deathbeds, we want to be able to look back, not just talk about how much money we made or how many degrees we've obtained, and all those things are wonderful. They're great.
Yes.
However, the legacy we want to be able to have lived is how we have made a difference.
Yes.
We have been chosen to make a difference, to impact people, you know, to be able to love and to forgive and to be able to help others up.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
I hope that biggest difference is in my kids' lives.
Yeah.
That they see, hey,
That dad loves them.
this is how dad loves me, and unconditionally, and he's there for me,
Yeah.
and that they end up having the same life, you know.
Yeah. That's good, John.
So,
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing your story today.
Yeah.
You know, coming down and just being able to not just share with me, but others who will, you know, listen to your story and their lives will be impacted and changed as well, John.
yeah. Oh, I appreciate the opportunity, because I think we've talked, you know, in the sauna, and man, what a wonderful time in the sauna. Just when we get talking, and it's great to have someone there that
Sure.
can lead the conversation.
Sure.
And knows where the conversation should go, and
Sure.
how we should do that. But, you know, with different people coming in there, we just have wonderful conversations. And then when you start talking about your program, and I watched it on YouTube, I said,
Yeah.
you know, this is great for the people talking.
Sure.
And it is, it's great. But my hope is other guys out there, especially younger guys, that have gone through issues with fathers
Absolutely.
or whatever in their life,
Or moms or aunts.
our moms or aunts or
whomever.
uncles,
Yeah.
that they see that, hey, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. This guy went through the same thing.
Sure.
And it wasn't him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a good person. We all have problems.
Yeah. We all have.
We all have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much, John, for, you know, sharing and being with me today.
Oh,
And I want to
thank
say,
you.
yeah, and thank you for, you know, the conversations that we do have in the sauna with other people as well. And again, thank you so much for sharing your sacred story and trusting me with it. You know, and to those who are listening, I want to say that none of us are perfect. We all, you know, have perhaps come from different kinds of experiences. It's not a black issue, white issue, or Asian. It's a life issue. And as humans, we all experience something. But as you experience those things, I want to encourage you all to never suffer in silence, to reach out for help. And if those who are active duty or you retired, every base has chaplains, and especially family life clinicians, not necessarily every base, but main posts like Fort Hood, big posts, have trained clinicians, because I recommend therapy. I recommend prayer. I recommend the sacred text, whatever it is for you. Whatever it is for you, I also recommend community, building a community, a camaraderie, a community where you can have someone that you can share your life with and to seek help. And so I want to ask that you would like the page, subscribe to the page, share the page as we continue to have some great conversations about various different subjects. And again, thank you so much for joining me tonight.